Hello everyone, welcome back to True Oracle Tarot. This reading is for the sign of Gemini for December 2025. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share this video if you feel connected to this reading or know anyone who may need to hear this message. Also, it helps the algorithm push the video out so it can reach others. Thank you. Hello Gemini, I hope everyone's doing well. We're going to start with personal growth, then money, and love and romance. It's the Ten of Cups. It's pretty good already. Ace of Cups. Ten of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Page of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Queen of Wands. Your reading already looks really good, Gemini. So your first card of your personal growth reading is Ten of Cups. Okay? So whatever you've been struggling with overall, it's going to end. Okay? It's going to come to an end. I see a moment of contentment and joy. Could be the holiday season, but it looks overall. Okay? Like your inner world is aligning. Whatever inner struggle you were having is it's closing. It's coming to an end. You know, you're gonna start feeling fulfilled, a sense of emotional fulfillment, type of harmony with your mind, body, and soul, and heart, of course. In your relationships also, just not your personal, but it looks like you might have perhaps some personal relationship, I would say maybe a disagreement or conflict that's coming to an end as well. So a lot of significant personal growth. I see some success also coming to you, perhaps a bonus as well, some type of bonus, a raise. Also, you know, you look like you're gonna have a really great holiday season. You know, surrounded by a lot of supportive and emotional, secure people. You know, you have a good foundation. Okay, and you've been working very hard on yourself inwardly, and you're gonna be reaping rewards in 2026. And here you are, the Ace of Cups, right? I mean, these cards. I mean, you can't make this up. Whatever you've been going through is going to come to an end, and you're going to have a fresh start with the Ace of Cups. Okay, a new emotional awareness, which you've been working on, right? More compassion. Geminis tend to be more self. I think sometimes they may have some lack of some emotional awareness for their surrounding and the people around them. Not everyone, but sometimes they do. But it looks like you're growing past that. because you have the attitude, if I can do it, you can do it too type things, and not everyone has the emotional strength to do that. Okay. Also, the Ace of Cups is telling you, in your personal growth journey, you're gonna manifest a lot of self-love. Okay. You have a lot of it already, Gemini, but you're gonna manifest more of it, more attention to self, more attention to health, more attention to body, more attention to the exterior, your exterior, right? The face that you put out to the world. I see some tweaking, a little bit of tweaking. Some people may do some things to enhance their appearances also, also, accept, I would say, recognize your feelings, accept it, right? You can be emotional, you are human, you're not a robot. And when you feel sad, then accept it, feel sad, and move on. Don't carry it with you. You tend to carry it with you, because you haven't recognized it, you haven't paid attention, you haven't brought it to the forefront. Okay. And accept that you feel a certain way. Accept it to avoid taking it into your future. Okay. Or keep carrying it with you like a heavy ball and chain. So be receptive there. Okay. And also in terms of other people's feelings. Okay. And also, work on your spiritual side. You tend to start and stop. So continue your growth on the spiritual side is what the Ace of Pentacles is also telling you. I mean, you have some really, really good cards. The Ace of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles. I mean, the 10 in a reading, it's a good sign. It's coming to the end of a cycle, right? The end of a phase in your life, going and stepping into the new as a new journey, as the Ace of Cups is saying, is telling you. Right? The Ten of Pentacles is that is achieving what you've set out to achieve. Okay, creating your abundance. Okay, just not in a financial sense, but also a foundation, right? A foundation you've been working on, and for your future, and just for yourself and for your family. It's a lot of, I say, a lot of long-term planning and hard work, a lot of shifting around of coin. Okay. You're going to achieve some really tangible points going forward. You will be feeling a sense of security, something that you've always set out to achieve, and it will happen, or you'll come very, very close to making it happen. And that solid, like, okay, I've done it feeling. You're on that path. Okay. Stay rooted, stay grounded in your goals. Okay, remember, goals and dreams are just goals and dreams if you don't take action to make it happen. There's no magical fairy hanging around saying, okay, your wish is my command, poof, here it is. That's not how it works. Okay? Action creates things. Yes, the universe helps us along, but you must first take action. Okay? It's like you standing on a street corner trying to cross the street. You want to cross the street. You can will yourself to cross the street unless you have some type of superpower. There's not an invisible hand that's going to pick you up and take you across the street. That's not how the universe works. You have to actually cross the street with your legs. You have to walk. You have to commit to the act of walking, right? The action of walking to get to the other side. Now, while you're walking to the other side, that's what the universe takes care of. Okay? Here's the Nine of Pentacles. You know, it's the Nine of Pentacles is, you know, self-realization, you know, cultivating independence. I mean, this is a really good personal growth reading, Gemini. It's one of the best I've seen. So congratulations, you've achieved it. You've achieved this, you know, in your personal growth. I suspect your money from this. I suspect your money and love and romance, your money and finance and your love and romance readings are going to be very, very good as well. Okay. You know, the nine of Pentacles is saying, look, you know, if you had an attitude like, I'm going to do this on my own and I don't need anyone's help, well, you've achieved it and you've done it on your own. Okay, you're going to be enjoying the fruits of your labor, but try not to overspend, Gemini. You tend to kind of overdo enough spending, so please, in order to keep your pentacles and keep your cup full, please be very, very careful on spending. Okay, especially going forward into 2026 and 2027. All right. Even the beginning of 2028, I would say be very careful on how you spend. Even if you have, you know, even if your cup runneth over, just be careful. I mean, I've done some 2026 readings already, and I'm going to drop. And every single reading says the same thing. Be careful with your coins. Be careful with pentacles. This is for every sign. Okay? And here's the Page of Swords, right? I mean, this reading is so insanely good, right? The Page of Swords is about new intellectual curiosity. Okay, it might be that you might try to skill up. You're gonna learn something new, a new language, a new skill. Just learning something new about yourself. All right. You know, it's also a call to you know, have the continuous growth mindset. Okay, just know that life is continuous growth. Okay, don't be afraid of starting something new. Okay, it might be difficult, but you can do it. Right, things might ruffle your feathers, but you will be fine. You are Gemini. You can do it. And boom, the Wheel of Fortune. Like you really can't make these things up. You know, I mean, the Wheel of Fortune is coming full circle, right? It's basically inevitable change, right? Where you have set out from, you have returned. You've went on your journey, and you've achieved all the things you needed to achieve, and here you are at the beginning, on setting off into a new journey, into a new cycle. Okay. Remember, life is constantly moving. It's constantly turning. It has ups and downs. All right. And what goes up must come down. As above, so below. Okay. Adapt to change. It's also what the Wheel of Fortune is telling you. Adapt to change. I think Geminis are really good with adapting to change. Might be a little irritating, but Geminis are really good at adapting, so you'll do well. Okay, there's a lot of diversity around you also of ideas. Okay, remember, act. Your goals might become a trillionaire, a billionaire, a millionaire, whatever, right? You have good goals. Okay, they're achievable goals. You may even have a plan of action of how you're going to get there, or what you need to do to become this, the ultimate, outcome, the action of how to produce the outcome. But if you don't take action, it's just a dream, it's just an idea, and nothing gets done. And what you needed to achieve, whether it's creating something, it never becomes created. Okay? It has never been. You could be the next Picasso. Okay? The next Einstein, whatever have you. But if you don't do the act of action, if you don't take action, if you don't do the act of moving to create, then nothing becomes created, right? Okay. And lastly, the Queen of Wands. You're very confident in yourself, and yes, you are, and very well so. Especially in self-expression. You're very charismatic. Passionate. Loves life. Loves the things about life. Love reaping the rewards of life. Yes, that's you, Gemini. Love the center of attention. That is for sure. Okay. And the card is also in personal growth. It's telling you to step into your own personal power. Again, it's telling you, this whole reading is so amazing, right? And it's telling you, the Queen, your last card in your personal growth journey, is telling you to act. You must step into your personal power in order to create. This reading might be for December 2025, but this reading in itself is timeless, because in the spiritual world, time does not exist. Okay? This might be a reading that you need to hear now to get you into the moving. Okay, you can bookmark it and come back, but you'll see. You have a bold, infectious energy. I see some of you actually moving into some type of management position, some type of leadership position, because that's where you are. You can do it. Your personality is infectious. Okay? All right. A lot of dynamic energy there in your personal growth reading, Gemini. Congratulations. Okay, we're going to move into money and career, money, finance. Okay. I know some of you has asked, why do I shuffle the cards 3 times? Why do I only pull 7 cards? I believe that's just how I do things. I've always done it that way. And I originally read regular plain cards. I don't need cards per se to do personal readings. Doing general readings without cards are very hard, obviously, because there's millions and billions of people in the world. But personal readings, I didn't need them. But if there's a lot of noise around me, I would need to focus, and it helps me focus. Your first card of the career, finance, money is the Hierophant. Second is Justice, the Emperor, Nine of Wands, another King of Pentacles. That's pretty good. Like I said, I believe your readings are going to be very, very good. And the Ace of Cups. Right? Is your last card for your financial journey. This is points to establish financial systems. You might be seeking some type of, it also is conventional wisdom, basically, right? Seeking some type of financial advice. Someone who's well seasoned, or some type of investment investment advice from someone who's seasoned professional, perhaps, or following some type of path. Unless you're working in finance, you're working in a corporate financial setting, bank perhaps too. And it's also about building wealth. Okay, so this is your first card of your journey. Remember, you had 2 tens and you had the 10 of Pentacles and the Ace. Here's the Justice card, the Ace of Cups, right? In your personal growth reading, the Justice card here in the financial reading is about balance. So you must balance at this time. You might be putting a lot of attention into, stacking your coins, but remember to give back to the people around you, and give back to the needy also during this time, but always, just not around the holidays, but always. And spend time with family, okay? Spend time with family. It also calls about making ethical decisions, sound decisions, okay? And because of it, you're expecting balance, some type of balance outcome. If you might be some type of legal settlement, some type of contract or situation that produces a financial abundance. Okay, you might be starting a business, could be a settlement, something that, an inheritance even for you. Approach everything with honesty and integrity, just not in your personal growth and love and so on, but also in family, but also in finances. Right? People tend to be very shrewd and forget that there are others that can get hurt even in finances, right? There's the Emperor, that can be you. There's 2 kings there. So could be in a partnership with someone. Kings doesn't necessarily mean male. It's just the way the cards are. It really doesn't. Especially in a financial reading, like a general reading, esoteric reading like this. It's about controlling. The Emperor is about, the ultimate control structure. It could be a CEO, some type of patriarchy, father, grandfather, a builder of empires, right? So you taking command of your finances. Okay, you're just tired of just going with the flow and just, picking up, and you feel at times that you're just grabbing it, at crumbs, and this is you saying, frig it, I'm taking control of this. I'm going to control the way my life goes. I'm going to control the money in my life. I am going to control the outcome of my life. Me, not anyone else. Okay? It's the King of Pentacles also is about peak financial, achievement and mastery, right? Just be careful also with signing contracts. Always read the fine print. This is why the Justice card is here, is telling you to seek financial advice. Seek someone who can do contracts, who can read contracts and, find any flaws, anything that works against you or may work against you. And here's the 6 of Wands, right? You know, the signal, it's about transition, okay? Away from financial difficulty. I mean, I told you, Gemini, your readings are going to be ridiculously insane good, right? I mean, all the cards are just telling you one after the other that you're in a transition. You're starting something brand spanking new. Okay, you saw the Six of Swords is coming out. You're transitioning from financial difficulty or any financial lack, right, into calmer waters. Right, things are going to start smoothing out, start feeling less stressful. Right, it's the calm after the storm. You know, you're moving from a place of financial stress, you know, financial anxiety, worrying about how you're going to pay your bills, when you're going to pay your bills. You're moving from that. You know, some people, like I said, may not be finance for everybody, some type of investment. It may be a career change. It could be in the form of skilling up that opens the doors to new careers that's more money. You can be creating something, inventing something that creates, you know, a stack of coins, a bag of coins for you. You could be just going on a new career path in general, right? Taking on a new career that opens the doors or release the doors of the coins just flowing. All right. The change might be hard, but it's going to get done. It has to get done. Okay. And we're moving on to the, you know, the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles is the master, you know, mastering your material world. I don't know if I said the Six of Swords there, but it's the Four of Swords. Mastering the material world. I mean, all these cards are just coming together. I'm telling you, this is one of the best readings I've done. A lot of the readings are very, very good, but this one is really good. It's like insanely good, right? So the King of Pentacles is mastering your material world, right? You know, the King of Pentacles is the embodiment of financial success. You know, it's a card that represents someone who's just not rich. Remember, being rich is a state of mind, right? It may not be coin rich, but for love rich, family rich, self rich, right? A lot of people who have stacks of coin, all they do is worry about losing their coins, right? But they're not love rich, right? They're not friend rich. They're people of shallowness. They're not grounded in themselves and with the planet and other people. Okay? You know, this King of Pentacles, you know, is very practical, also very competent in their job, you know, and generous, and can be very generous with their wealth as well. So it's also a card telling you, you know, to give back to the less fortunate. I tell everyone this, even, you know, if you don't have money to give away, you don't have to. Give someone some food, a plate during the holidays, perhaps a plate of food, you know, a smile, open the door, maybe buy someone something hot when it's cold, hot drink, you know. We're all connected with energy, okay? And human beings is a community animal. We're supposed to live in communities. We're supposed to live in groups. We're not supposed to be isolated. All right? Okay. So, and next is the Six of Swords, right? And You know, the Six of Swords is, again, another, you know, is a transitionary card. All right. I don't know what I'm thinking, but it is the I keep saying the Six of Wands. It's the Nine of Wands. I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing this with a little light. So anyway, I'll go back and talk about the Nine of Wands quickly before I do the Ace of Cups, if I didn't do it. When I'm doing these readings, a lot of things rush through my head at the same time. It's just how it's how my insight works. Sometimes it comes through, it's so much. That's why I use gloves, right? There's a lot that comes through at the same time, and sometimes I can't, it's like layers, and it's really to sort everything out. But anyway, the Nine of Wands is about, you know, financial resilience, okay? So you're gonna do fine, okay? And it's basically pointing about to, you know, learning from your past mistakes, which I believe you have, because you have the King of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Ace of Cups, right? Which is fulfillment. It's a card of fulfillment. So it's financial fulfillment for you. Okay. Gemini, like I said, this is one of the best readings I've done for December 2025. You know, there's you know, it's a lot of new money, just so much. It's, I mean, I see there's a lot of a lot of things that's going on in the world, but for a lot of different people. But for some of you out there, it's, you know, there's so much good it's going to happen. You know, new source of income, side hustle, a promotion. Maybe you're going to become that CEO. Maybe you're going to be a self-made CEO, right? Start your own business, create something, a product that brings joy, or brings that helps other people in the world, right? That may take away stress, or the process of doing something, make it shorter, right? Some of you are on a career change. Some of you are, you know, taking on a second job, making a side hustle, turning a hobby into you know, a career. Some of you are, you know, going to take the world by storm in 2026. Yep. But remember also, your financial decisions are going to pay off, but don't put your eggs in one basket, okay? And careful following the herd, right? And when you start have that feeling of abundance, remember to express gratitude, okay, to the universe, or whatever religion you may follow, you know, God. I you know, express thanks, okay? And the way you can express thank you or gratitude to the universe is to give back to the less fortunate, or people. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be money. It could be clothing, it could be food, it can be a smile, it can just giving time to listen to someone and help them through a difficult, you know, time. All right? Because remember, the universe and God works through us, okay? If you know, these beings were present now, no one would have difficult times, right? But it works through us. That's just how the method of things, right? The energy works through us. Okay, that is your reading, Gemini. Your career and finance. We're moving to love and romance. People's been asking if I do personal readings. I do, and I have been for a very long time. I haven't. I honestly, I don't charge for readings. I've never done. I don't think that I should, because if I have a gift, I believe it belongs to everyone, and it's my duty as a human to share it. But a lot of people also tell me that's stupid. Why wouldn't you charge? Because that's just how I feel. And but it does take a lot of time, and it does take a lot from me, because I am human, and because I'm an energy person. I connect to energy. It does drain. So this is the Nine of Pentacles. This is your first card in your romance. So I haven't decided how I'm going to do it as yet, approach it as of yet, because I do coaching as well, personal coaching as well as performance coaching. So I haven't decided. The second card is the World, right? You had the Wheel of Fortune, now you have the, I mean, your reading is just ridiculous. I told you your reading was going to be good. Here, the Hierophant. Your readings were going to be good, Gemini. There's the King of Pentacles. I haven't, when I do decide how I'm going to approach it, I'll drop a message, and you have the Five of Cups on either X or YouTube in the comment section, and I'll let everyone know how I'm going to. And look at that, the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. Like I said, Gemini, your readings, it's one of the best ones I've seen. Again, another self-sufficiency card, right? In love. But it all ties in, right? Personal growth, career and finance, and love. You know, you're fulfilled being on your own. You know, it's fine. You're comfortable in your own skin. You love yourself, so being alone is not an issue, right? It also represents a card. It represents that you are in a place where you know, you may not feel like you need a partner, that you're kind of, you know, happy being who you are. You know, you love being your rich, beautiful self, right? But and you enjoy the independence of being alone. But you do feel lonely also, and it's understandable. You're human, right? Take some time to reflect though, okay? For those who are in a relationship, you're comfortable. I mean, even if it's not perfect, you're comfortable. You're content, right? There's no complaints. It is, you know, it is what it is. You like it, you know, it supports your lifestyle, meaning that it flows, right? It flows well for how you, with your individuality, how you go about your life and your personal habits and beings and career path, right? You know, it's stable, also, you know, secure, and you're comfortable. You know, it's grounded also. And for those who are single, you know, like I said, you like being alone, and you're happy that way. And if someone comes along, which there is someone coming, actually, by the way, just so you know. Well, actually, not one. There's more than one. So you'll have to make the choice. And we know, Gemini, that choosing in love is very difficult for you, for some of you, meaning that the more the merrier, right? Okay. So, you like that there's no drama for the ones who are in a relationship, but you do create drama, Gemini. Okay? And you do sometimes have the attitude of, I have my own life to live. I don't need your drama. So, and here you're at the world, right? The world is in your hands. The ultimate completion card. It signifies also that you've reached a significant cycle if you're in a relationship. You finally found the one person that, that you want to walk the path of life with. And to achieve a long, satisfying commitment, right? It's a feeling that you're feeling in your relationship that, this is it. This is what all the struggles in life had led to. Your struggles in romance, connecting to other people has led to this one, and you're ready, and for the ones who are not, you have a major soul connection coming on, a soulmate connection coming in, because you've done the personal growth, you've completed the cycle and completed the work that you needed to do on yourself to arrive at this moment. When you meet the one, and for the ones who have, it's a sign of, a successful, deep partnership, harmonious partnership, a love, happy partnership. And here's the Hierophant. Right? The Hierophant is the card of structure and tradition. There is some of you that's going to break out of structure and break out of tradition and follow your own path. Okay? But for the ones that are, it points to you achieving a conventional milestones, like marriage, or going towards a professional milestone like marriage, perhaps an engagement, some type of long-term relation, something long-term, very traditional path. But there is some of you that's breaking down those walls of tradition. Good for you. But even though, and it's going to receive a blessing for the ones on the traditional path. Yes, you'll receive the blessings from your peers, your family, and your society. And for the ones who are breaking walls, break them. Break those walls. And you'll receive a formal blessing as well. Okay? From your peers and society. And your family. And for those who don't, well, that's their tough. Alright? You don't need their approval. No one needs anybody's approval to be happy. You need your own. Everyone will live their life the way they want to live it. If someone doesn't like how you live, that's their problem, not yours. Because at the end of the day, they'll live their life the way they want to. Okay? So I see a lot of, passion and love, building a stable and respectable life. And you're the King of Pentacles. Again, another King of Pentacles. So your person is going to be a provider. It is you or your person, but the King of Pentacles is very financially stable and reliable, and someone who's very committed and committed to creating something secure and long term. Okay? Very grounded and patient, very affectionate also. Likes a lot of outward affection, a lot of, how can I say it, public affection. I think that's you, Gemini. Could be your person too, but I see a lot of outward, a lot of public display of of affection. I see a lot of comfort in your skin. I see a lot. Wow, I see a lot of strong love connection too. I can feel it. You know. You guys are going to do well together, you and your person, if you're in a relationship. And for the ones who are single, when you meet your soulmate, things are going to go fast, but stay focused on building a foundation, okay? The King of Pentacles is also very mature and dependable and very loyal, okay? And your love is very deep, by the way. It's the Five of Cups. And it's a card of regret and disappointment, so you need to be careful here. Okay, it could be a mistake. I see you saying things out of anger, and then regretting it later on. Gemini. That's not good, right? You have to be self-aware. If you feel like you're angry and becoming out of control, emotionally, out of control, you need to walk away. Okay, words hurt and they cut like a sword. Sometimes sorry can go but so far, right? And pretending something doesn't exist is not helpful. Pretending like if something didn't happen is not helpful. It might be helpful to you, but it's not helpful for your person, okay? Okay. So you need to be aware, be self-aware. There's the Page of Cups. It's again beginning of a new emotional experience. So that's growing past this outburst period where you emotionally vomit during a disagreement. Okay, so you have to be self-aware, be more self-aware. And you're change your emotional expression of how you express yourself during a disagreement. Sometimes you don't always have to win, right? You can agree to disagree. You don't always have to have the last word, all right? Okay. So you're going to go past the honeymoon stage and you may have disagreements, but things are going to, if you work on changing, when the emotional part takes control of you, you'll be good. You'll be fine. Okay. Loving someone, you may also have, if you're not the king and it's your person, then you're younger. If you are younger, then your person's the king. So this may represent you or your person. Okay. It's the Ten of Pentacles. Now I see a lot of tender moments. Okay. Things will be really good. The Ten of Pentacles is long term, right? again, yeah, like I said, your love romance reading's really good too. Everything's long term. You know, if you don't have someone and you love being by yourself, you know, you're happy being alone, you're content, right? You're stacking coin anyway. But when your soulmate comes in, it's gonna be fireworks. And for the ones that are in a relationship, you know, it's long term success. You have built your foundation, or is building your foundation. You know, in a reading, you know, it's the ultimate happy family. And a love reading, that's what that means, right? The ultimate happy family. You know, things are the way you envisioned it to be. You know, it's the happily ever after card. You know, and also it's about generational wealth too, right? It's also, you know, so happy family, strong foundation, and generational wealth. You know, you created a stable love foundation. So a very deep, deep, secure, and established love. Okay, and if you don't have children and you plan on building a family, it's gonna be quite a thing, right? A lot of love. Okay, I'm going to do now. Congratulations, Gemini. Your reading's really good. All money from personal growth to career and you know, and money and love and romance. Your reading's really good. So I'm gonna pull an energy card for you right now. See what the universe has to say. If it has a particular message for you. Release past burdens and embrace new beginnings. Wow, you can't make this stuff up, right? How many new beginnings cards you've had? All right, stay focused, everyone. Remain positive. Thank you for stopping by.